The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys! This is the Players Lounge, broadcasting live from Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star. Now, your hosts, Barry Church, Danny McCray, Heckma Harrison, and Newey Scruggs.
You heard that too, right?
That's wild.
Hey,
that's wild, Jazz. How you doing? Is that
ain't that something?
The slights continue.
It's all good. You are now rocking with the best. This is the Players Lounge. I'm Heckma Harrison. And
Change seats.
you know, I'm Heckma Harrison, and joining me at the desk per usual are my guys, D-Mac, and my man BC is in the building.
Sir.
And fellas, we are on the eve. We are on the eve of game day. And yes, Newey Scruggs is out today. He is on a plane on his way to the Fiesta Bowl.
Out there in Phoenix or Glendale or Phoenix or something.
One of them. Arizona.
Yeah, out there.
He going to go get set up for the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
He gonna scout it out.
Oh yeah.
Get things ready for us. But guys, it's on the eve of game day. And so we have the Players Lounge in the building today, and we're going to break down some things. But per usual, how I get things started is I check in with my guys just to see where y'all are, how your mental's doing. And D-Mac, I'm going to start with you, brother. How are you?
I'm good, man. You know, I'm having a blast. The Christmas is over. Thank God, Christmas is over. Okay, December birthdays. I got one left with my big sister. Now we got New Year's, and then my pockets will be. I'm gonna give them a break. They need to replenish. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, there's a lot of smiling faces in the McCray household, so I'm okay. I'm having a good time.
Man, that is good to hear, brother. What about you, BC?
As usual, things are going great, man. Things are going great. Extremely blessed out here. It's a beautiful day. It's warming up. So you know what that means for me. I'm going to be out there swinging them clubs here soon. So It's been a blessed day. Family good. Everybody's good. So, can't complain, man. What about you, big dog?
Man, you know what? It's been the holiday season. And, I'm always feel abundantly blessed during the holiday season, man. Having my children in town. My daughter came home from New York. So that was amazing just to be able to have, all of my children under one roof, for the holidays is awesome, man. But, it just doesn't get any better, bro. Doesn't get any better. Today, I will say this. Today is the 28th. Today is the 11th anniversary of my brother's passing. My brother, best friend, and business partner died 11 years ago, 39 years old, died of a massive heart attack, man. And hey, man, it was one of the hardest things I ever had to get over in my life. And I say this and I share this with the people that's out there, man, because I want you to know, as much as during this season as we deal with everything as a family and during the holiday season, it's very important to always point out, man, that people are dealing with loss and grief, during the holiday season. And so, man, this is one of those days it took me a long time to get past, but, brother, I'm in the building. I'm in here and I'm rocking with y'all.
Yeah,
so we're going to do our thing today. You feel what I'm saying? We're going to do our thing today.
I got one question.
Go ahead, homie.
Hey, they sell golf balls at Walmart?
Yeah, they do.
Right.
They do the pack, too. That's where you get the pack.
Okay. I'm just trying to see.
He don't know. He don't know.
12.
Hey, if they do, he don't know.
Hey, Target sell them too. All right, Target.
We know you know about
What is it? Now, I got to ask this question now. What is it about Target that everybody, like my little sister, she won't shop. She has to go every day. And I'm like, man, you need to buy Target stock. Is it something that is it a pheromone that they spraying in the air that got everybody going back and forth to Target?
I think I don't know. Somebody put some marketing scheme out there to where, like, for some reason, because when I was growing up, Target wasn't like the bougie stuff. Like, it was just, the same as Hills everywhere else.
Right.
For some reason, I don't know if they caught a celebrity in there or what happened, but I feel like you said, people pronounce it Target now.
Target.
Like, and I'm like, where did this come from?
So, I remember Jamie Foxx did that, but I mean, it's the same reason of, like, you go to the mall and you see, like, the line outside of the Louis store and the Gucci store and all that stuff, right? Like, why do people need to go spend that much money on a purse or a wallet or whatever it is, right? It's just because it makes you feel a little bit more rich. So when you pull up to Target and you see
a status
see
thing.
Walmart across the street, you like, I'm too rich for that. I'm going there. The buggies are better.
The buggies are better.
They do ride smooth.
It's cleaner. The clothes are better in Target than they are in Walmart. People feel like they got a little bit more better quality to them. You know what I'm saying? So that's why. Like, why would I go there? I could just go across the street to Target, and I feel like I'm just a little bit more expensive. I feel better about myself. It's Target.
Well, I tell you what, the Titans are not dealing with a Target at the quarterback position right now. They probably wish they could upgrade a lot of things right now. And this is interesting, man. This is an article I read from the Tennessean about 62 quarterbacks have started this season in the NFL. Wow. All right. And so that means that there's only 12 teams in the NFL that has had their starting quarterback start for all 17 weeks. So teams have been down to second and third for the 49ers. All right. You look around the league, Pittsburgh Steelers back and forth with guys. There has been no continuity at the quarterback position. It's weird to have such a year that they've had. I mean, the Cowboys, Cooper Rush. I mean, so we know what this is all about. And sometimes, most of the time, when you have to go to your backup quarterback, season down the drain. Malik Willis, bless his soul, okay? This brother has had it tough.
Yeah.
He's had it tough. And right now in 3 starts, 13 first downs. That is second to last in the NFL. And I remember me and Kyle called his game when he was at Liberty. Mm-hmm. Man, RPO specialist had a little touch on his ball. And I think that the promise that they had for Malik Willis coming out of the draft was probably a little bit over his head. Mm-hmm. But when I was watching him, man, just going back and just watching the film on him, I just cut it off. It's garbage? It's bad.
Ooh, like taking out the trash bag?
Yeah, it's bad.
Oh.
It's bad.
Jalen Hurts bad, or is it?
No, don't do that to me. Don't do that. Don't do that to me.
I'm just trying.
Don't do that to me.
What type of bad is it?
No. Don't do that to me. Because you know what my thing is with him, and you know why I can't get over that hurdle. So don't do that to me, dog. It's not even in the same building. Now, come on now. Now you try to take me all the way out the game. I'm not saying that. I'm telling you that Malik Willis, as a quarterback, is having his struggles. And, you know, if we see Dobbs, who they just signed 10 days ago, it wouldn't surprise me because Vrabel is trying to find something on this offense. But just starting with the Tennessee offense, what are you guys thinking about them when you break down the tape? You take a look at them, and BC, I'll start with you.
I think, and it has been this way for the past, couple years, even with Ryan Tannehill being in here. I think their offense starts and stops with Derrick Henry. I mean, they call him King Henry for a reason. The guy's been the best running back in the league for the past couple of seasons. This year, he struggled a little bit, fumbling the ball a lot out there, and he hasn't really gotten those yards that we've come accustomed to seeing. But it still starts and stops with him. When you talk about Malik Willis, the guy is superbly athletic. Like, the guy can run around anybody. He can create, extended time for his wide receivers to get open out there. So he has that bag, but I just don't think he's matured as a quarterback enough to go out there and do that. Like, I feel like if he's extending the play, he's looking to run. Like, he's not even looking downfield. He's looking, the pass rush is here. Let me get out of here with my legs. So I don't think he's even looking to extend the play for his wide receivers out there. So I feel like as if the Cowboys can come in here, and if Derrick Henry even plays, like if he even plays, if you can contain him or kind of slow him down, then that offense is shot. It's shot because if you look at Malik Willis, what he does on tape, he hikes the ball, he looks at his number one option. If that's not there, he's taking off. I mean, he hasn't gone through his progressions yet. He's not seeing what number 2's doing, number 3's doing. He's not checking the ball down. He's using his legs or looking at that number one option. So if they can slow down Henry, it could get extremely ugly for the Tennessee Titans come tomorrow, actually, Thursday.
Right. And Danny, knowing that Malik Willis' average pass yards are between 4 and 5 yards, as a defense, are you licking your chops saying that, look, man, we can, we're going to put all the pressure that we possibly can on this young man to make sure that we force him into a mistake and also flush him out because we know he's a runner?
Yeah, I mean, knowing that, if you're looking at the stats and if the tape says the same thing about the routes that they're running, I imagine Trayvon Diggs and Deron Bland and Nashawn Wright to be sitting on every route. Yeah. Every route. You sit at the sticks. 36, sit at the sticks. Yeah. 34, sit at the sticks because his average distance of throwing the ball or pass attempt is that low to where you know that that's most likely where it's going. And if you're able to get that same type of pass rush that we had gotten 3-4 weeks ago, then the ball has to come out fast. But I think the issue with Malik is that it would work out for him if that guy in Philadelphia was still there. When you're looking for your number one read and you got an A.J. Brown.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's the type of guy that you need when you have a backup quarterback in. You need one of those guys who they're going to be open anyways. Yeah. And I can just take that shot and throw it to him. You're seeing they don't have that. And then when you also don't have a Derrick Henry playing in the game, or if he's having a bad rushing game, now you don't have that number one receiver guy who's a superstar who you can throw it to. Derrick Henry's game isn't working. So, yeah, it's his legs, right?
Yeah.
You got to play to what you know.
Yep.
And that's what it looks like. So if we stop the run, this should be a good game for us. This should be a good game for my fantasy team. This should be a good game for Cowboys. I hope your team win. They should have a good New Year's. But you got to stop the run, man.
Got to.
You can't sleepwalk in here. It's a Thursday game.
Yeah.
So you got to come in here with your mind right, doing the right thing, stopping the dang run. Because we're going into the playoffs, you're going to have to stop the run. Whatever team you play, they're going to try to run the ball against you.
So I'm hearing you schematically, you're saying that, look, crowd the line of scrimmage, that needs to be number one because you're not as worried about Malik Willis trying to throw over the top. Now, he does have weapons, the rookie also, Traylon Burks.
He's coming along.
He has. He has Robert Woods, and he also has Austin Hooper as his tight end.
Not AJ.
Not A.J. Brown. No. Big difference.
Oh, yeah,
all right,
yeah,
big
yeah.
difference. Now, there's no comparison between that. And the Tennessee Titans didn't do themselves any favor by trading away A.J. Brown. I mean,
what do you think?
Well, they made the same mistake. They paid Ryan Tannehill instead. Before you paid Derrick Henry, then you trade away A.J. Brown.
It makes no sense.
Lord. Yeah.
No, it really is. Like, it's one of those things that it really boggles the mind. You try and find out what they're going to do. And Ryan Tannehill has been nursing a ankle injury, I believe, and he's had his shortcomings also as a
playoffs last year.
As a quarterback. He's had his shortcomings, and they have been documented. But this is a team in Tennessee. They may not have to win this game in particular, but they are against the ropes. So this is a struggling team, and for me, I'm saying this is a team that doesn't deserve to be on the same field with you. Mm-hmm. So the things that we've struggled with in the last couple of weeks is just take Philly out of that. Let's just say the Houston game, all right, where you can't come in playing with your food.
Go ahead. You got to step on their throat early.
You got to step on them. You can't. I don't see them in the same vein as Jacksonville, and that's the common opponent that we have in Jacksonville. And Jacksonville handled their business versus Tennessee. Boy, I'm telling you, they handled their business. And so you talk about a team that's stopping the run and doing. They kind of gave you the blueprint on how you do that. But switching over to the other side. Mike Vrabel is from the Bill Belichick School of Defense, and some things never change. Death, taxes, and
they're going to have a good defense.
They're going to have a good defense. And the one thing that I think is really surprising about these guys is that their ability to shut you down with just 4 up front. They create pressure. They don't blitz a lot. As we know, Dak Prescott is one of the better quarterbacks in the league when you're under pressure. What is his Achilles heel is when you go after him with just 4 guys.
And you can leave all those guys in the back end.
Talk to me, BC.
And I'm telling you right now, Jeffrey Simmons is a grown man in there.
Yeah.
That dude is a beast. Like, I understand there's Aaron Donald, but a little shade below that is Jeffrey Simmons.
Yeah.
All right, that guy, he eats double teams alive.
Yeah.
And he can affect you both ways. He can stop the run, and he can also get pressure up the gut against the quarterback. And as we've seen, Dak, a lot of his pressure comes from the edges. Having that young, Tyler Smith out there, having Tyron Smith coming back, still a little bit rusty. A lot of that pressure has come from the edge, and he's been able to step up in the pocket and still make those throws down the field. It's going to be interesting this game because you got Bud Dupree on the outside. You got Jeffrey Simmons who can force that pressure on the inside. So I think it's going to be a long afternoon for Connor McGovern out there because they're going to try to get their best interior rusher, which is Jeffrey Simmons.
Yeah.
On probably our worst interior guy, which is McGovern. Because, nothing against him, but he's no Zach Martin. Right. So they're not going to have those two battling all day. He's going to try to take the weakest option, which is McGovern. You got to be able to block this dude because if you can't, we've seen this guy in the past be a game wrecker. Like, he can come in there and he can destroy the whole entire game for you. So they still got that man out there. And defensively as a whole, they're not the greatest. You're not a lot of household names outside of Jeffrey Simmons, but they play as a unit. If you see out there, they play off each other's strengths and weaknesses. They're fast out there, and they make you earn your yardages. Like, they're not just going to give you something over the top. So it's going to be a little bit tougher for our offense, but overall, I still think we have the ability and the depth to handle this Tennessee defense.
Yeah, and to piggyback off what you said, like, the defenses that play that way, they make it really hard on offenses, especially offensive coordinators who want to take those big shots, who want to, hey, man, it's a 5-play drive for 80 yards and then we score. When we play defense, our defensive coordinators will usually say, hey, man, they're going to make a mistake. They're going to get impatient, and at some point on a 12-play drive, they're going to make a mistake, they're going to get impatient, and then all of a sudden, that's when you can make a big play, get you a sack, get you a forced fumble, get you an interception. This is the type of defense that they're playing. They play solid defense, solid enough for you to where, like you said, they force you to earn every yard.
Got to work for it.
Right? So this is a Kellen Moore game. When trust becomes a thing, right? You have to be consistent, and you have to make sure you're sticking with the run like Mike McCarthy praised you for last week and said, hey, no matter what happened, we still ran the ball.
Yeah.
You still have to be able to do that and not get out of sorts if the running game isn't working at the beginning, or if you're not all of a sudden able to get those deep shots. You still got to be able to stay in some type of flow and not let the defense dictate what you're trying to do, because that's all they want to do. They want to line up in whatever look, disguise, and try to force you to get into a running play or a favorable pass play to where they know exactly what you're doing. So this is Kellen Moore thing, right? We talk about him possibly being in the running for head coach for the Denver Broncos. These are those games where you say, all right, man, it's on you.
You got to do
it's
it.
on you. Show me what you can do.
Yeah, and I think the thing for me coming off of the Philly game is this offense has some momentum to it. You know, this is multiple touchdown throws for Dak Prescott, and you talk about Tennessee and what they present. You're right. Not a lot of household names, but boy, do they play together and they run to the ball. They're not going to let a lot of slippage happen. It's been because their offense has been setting them out to dry. I mean, you can only go so many 3-and-outs to your defense. That's what's been breaking their back because they get tired. But as far as an offensive game plan, and you were breaking that down a little bit, you're saying heavy run game.
No, I'm saying you gotta be balanced. You gotta be balanced. So at this time, so we have been talking about CeeDee Lamb and him not arriving how we thought that he should, right?
Okay.
And then the last couple of weeks we said, all right, this is the guy.
Dude's coming.
This is the guy. So if you have a game to where you say the Tennessee Titans don't deserve to be on the field with the Cowboys, this is your chance to then continue that momentum. Continue to get CeeDee Lamb rolling, because you're gonna need him once you get into the playoffs.
Right.
Make sure you get T.Y. Hilton involved, because you picked him up. You want him to be a part of the offense. So if they taking away CeeDee, taking away Michael Gallup, T.Y. Hilton, who hasn't played much, now he's getting some reps. And then you got to continue to feed Zeke, and you got to continue to feed Tony Pollard. So you got to be balanced, but you want to use this as something to continue to help you gain momentum going into the playoffs, not just run it 45 times and make it a bland type of game plan. You need to make sure you mix it up, because we need momentum. We need the offense to be clicking on all cylinders when we get into the playoffs.
And this is why I think it'll be a big game for Dalton Schultz. Like, I feel like this can be a big game where you work in the middle of the field, because from what we understand, Tennessee, they love to run that too high safety system, which means they want to keep everything in front of them. So I don't see a lot of deep shots being had. CeeDee Lamb, he might be able to work that slot a little bit as well, but whoever's working that middle of the field is going to be a big day. And I think it'll be Dalton Schultz against those linebackers out there. We've seen he has the ability to get open versus one-on-one coverage as well as his zone coverage. He's extremely smart. He's that security blanket. So I can see a big game for Schultz out there working on those linebackers, because like I said, they're going to make everything, they're going to make you earn it. And what we've seen when they have to earn it, they go to Dalton Schultz. Dak and Schultz have that connection when they got to earn their yards and they have to make big plays. So look out for Schultz having a big game this week.
My fantasy team too. So.
Oh, here we go.
It's
all championship.
I'm just saying.
No, it's all about the fantasy team.
Hey man, when you pick up, I'm like you, bro. I got Dak Prescott, I got Dalton Schultz, and I got the Cowboys defense. I'm heavy Cowboys over here, bro.
Well, you look at the Tennessee Titans and you look at their linebackers. It is a Q next to everybody's name. They are hurting at the line. Yeah, they are hurting at the linebacker position. So you're right. Look for Dalton Schultz, Hendershot, Ferguson to have a big game. I think these guys go heavy run package against them. I do understand, believe in what you're saying, and agree with you wholeheartedly. The balance that they have to have is going to be important. Last game, 35 pass attempts to 31 rush attempts. balance.
That's balance.
That's balance. I love it. And it was only that way in passing because you had to make that drive at the end of the game, and you were trying to fight back into it.
Exactly.
Being down 10 at the beginning,
Yep.
or else it would have been more. It would probably been spot on.
Yep, there it is.
Well, I tell you what, we got a guy we need to talk about when we come back from the break, boy, because I think the bazooka tripping a little bit.
Oh, your man.
We have to talk about this.
Oh, the briefcase.
The briefcase. One of the latches don't work right now. But we'll be back with more Players Lounge, sponsored by Tostitos.
With Smoothie King's original Angel Food and new Angel Food Slim without added sugar, you no longer have to choose between treating yourself and hitting your goals this summer. You don't have to choose between great taste and feeling great. Because at Smoothie King, every blend is made with whole fruits and no syrups, so you can satisfy your cravings without compromise. The only choice you will need to make is which one is best for you. Try our classic Angel Food or the new Angel Food Slim, blended without added sugar. Smoothie King. Rule the day.
Attention Cowboys fans looking for the best shave of your life. There's a new official razor of the Dallas Cowboys, Shave Logic. Imagine not having to buy blades as often and getting more smooth shaves than your old razor, guaranteed or your money back. After more than 10 years of research and over 150 company patents, ShaveLogic is proud to offer Cowboys fans a special offer. For a limited time, visit ShaveLogic.com and get a free $10 gift card with your purchase. Go to ShaveLogic.com now for more smooth shaves guaranteed.
Nobody protects you from mayhem like Allstate. You hear that? I'm a torrential downpour. Torrential? What's that even mean? It means you can't see out of your windshield. And if you have the wrong car insurance, you might have to make it rain to fix your bumper. So switch to Allstate, save money, and be better protected from mayhem, like me.
Based on coverage and limits selected, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. In most states, prices vary based on how you buy. Allstate Bar and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys.
And they snap it to Prescott, who looks right. It's not there. He escapes left. He'll run for a first down.
Just like football, when it comes to crypto, it's important to have a team you can trust. With blockchain.com, I know I'm in good hands. Since 2011, they've been trusted by millions around the world to buy, sell, and trade cryptocurrency.
Prescott's going to run this himself. Run it up the middle, and he scores.
Whether you're new to crypto or an active trader, they've got you covered. What are you waiting for? Get started at blockchain.com.
Back to the Players Lounge.
This is How We Country. Country Music Party of the Year is coming to the Ford Center at the Star in Frisco. The Academy of Country Music Awards are always bringing you country music's brightest stars together under one roof. And no one does it country like Texas. Witness history on May 11th and get your tickets at SeatGeek.com. D. Maccabee in the building with his boots on, ready to go.
Ready to roll. You want me in the building, man?
I ain't got my cowboy boots and none of that.
You don't no boots?
I don't got no cowboy boots, bro.
But you from Ace? You from H-Town?
Yeah, I ain't riding no horses, though. I see the dudes riding the horses around the neighborhood and stuff, but I ain't.
You got a pair of boots?
Got some Chelsea boots. That's about it.
I ain't got no boots, bro.
Ain't got no boots, dog.
That might be something we can,
That is.
Get some boots?
Get some boots, bro.
Get some boots.
I'm gonna get some Lucchese or something, right? Because that's Lucchese.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Dog, get you some boots, some professional made, some real boots, bro.
I do watch Yellowstone. I might go.
Get you
buy me a horse too.
Get you some ostriches. You from the South, bro. You done seen plenty of them, man.
Yeah, man.
Everybody wear them.
I was thinking about going to Tennessee too, not this game, but I want to go to Nashville, so I'm gonna get fitted. They said that whatever the street. What's the name of the street down there?
I don't know. They say it's
or something like that. Yeah.
They say it's turned over there.
I'm being that.
I think you're thinking Bill Street.
But I don't know what street it is, but
in Nashville, right? That main.
Okay, yeah, I don't know.
Look, see why you said, look, I'm starting to get my,
See what I'm saying, dog? Come on, don't act like I'm fronting on you.
I my country song list. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Oh, let me hop in the whip. You talking about some Old Town Road?
Nah. They got a song called "Cold Beer Calling My Name." It fit me right.
Fit you right.
Yeah, you get home and man, you just want to pop open that Miller Lite. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, when you want to pop that open, call me.
Official beer of the Dallas Cowboys.
That man is not going to make that mistake. That man going to make sure he get that right. You know who the official sponsor is.
Got to.
For sure. And so good when it's cold. Believe that. But guys, yesterday, Michael Parsons was in the locker room, man, and they interviewed him and was asked about the, only one sack in the last 3 games. And it sounds like to me that the pressure's starting to get to Michael a little bit.
Yeah, I can see that happening. Cats don't realize unless you play for the Star, unless you've been around here, there's a lot of pressure when you got that on the side of your helmet.
Yeah.
Especially if you one of the best players on that said team. Like, we understand how it works. Even D. Ware, Hall of Fame guy, when he gets into it, he was getting scrutinized. And, if you're not making these plays, are you still that good? Every time you step on the field and you got that star on your helmet, you're under a microscope from everybody. We all understand what it is. When the Cowboys play, they could be playing Houston.
Y'all been there.
Yeah,
so y'all already know what the pressure is.
Thankful to me, I wasn't one of them, top flight guys where every move was, under a microscope. But for him, being up for Defensive Player of the Year, having that star on your helmet, you're going to get the criticism. You're going to get scrutinized for every little thing you do. Look, he hasn't had those sack numbers these past couple of games that we've, become accustomed to seeing, but he's still affecting the game.
Right.
The guy's still able to get pressure out there. He's still able to beat double teams, and he's still opening up things for the other, defensive linemen out there. It's just that you don't see those numbers on the stat sheet. And I can understand him being a younger player. It's frustrating. You used to having your way out there. You used to, getting sacks and being that guy.
Yeah.
And when people start to criticize you and say, I think he's fell off, it gets to you a little bit. It irks you a little bit. So I can understand where he's coming from, but being a leader of that defense, understanding where you guys are at this stage in your career and this stage in the season, you got an opportunity to do big things. Don't worry about what the outside people say, man. Just go out there and keep doing your thing. So hopefully he takes that and runs with it.
Come on, D-Mac. Come on, D-Mac.
First of all, leader of the defense is DeMarcus Lawrence and Curse. and I say this because I remember having these conversations about D-Law. Right? Mm-hmm. D-Law, franchised twice, getting 15, 16 sacks, and then all of a sudden, he get paid, and then people scrutinize. Oh, man, you ain't get 16 again. You ain't get this. You ain't get that. Right? Right?
I was one.
Was it the same attitude? D-Law, hey, man, I'm worried about what I'm going to do. As a matter of fact, they asked Mike McCarthy about the pass rush. He said the only people who need to be worried about our pass rush is the people that we're going against. Right. That's the only people I want to talk about it with. Mm-hmm. Michael Parsons, you're a great player, bro. You're doing your thing. Keep on doing it. You are disrupting the game. But we got to keep that same energy, though, that you have for D-Law. All right? Because when D-Law was out there, he was getting 30 sacks in the season, I was like, he still is effective in the run game. He's still getting pressures. He's just not getting those sacks. It's not showing up on the stat sheet. Everybody's like, I don't know, man. I don't know. So get you some sacks, big dog.
He still got, 13 sacks a year? Like, he's still doing work.
Yeah. He has 27 sacks in 2 seasons. The only 2 players that ever do that is Alden Smith and Reggie White.
Yeah, he needs some more.
Reggie.
Yeah.
He needs some more.
Yeah.
All right?
No.
This is what we have come to expect out of Michael Parsons. So, and he seems like a guy who wants to live up to those expectations, or he always wants to be better. That's why you see him talking to DeMarcus Ware and going to seek out some of the best players in the world at whatever sport they're playing, because he wants to figure out how to be better. So he's holding himself to a high standard. That's cool, but don't take it personal.
And I'm saying, do you tell him, come on, dog, pump your brakes? Especially when I think the expectation is what really is starting to get to him, because people start throwing around names like Lawrence Taylor, Derek Thomas. The greats of the game, his name is starting to become synonymous with. Is that what's throwing a young guy off? You got to think, he's still, 23 years old?
Young, yeah.
He's a young guy. So, do you believe, even with what you're seeing, when you watch him on film, are you saying to yourself, here's a guy that's pressing for those numbers, or a guy that's playing within the system?
He's getting better.
Yeah.
He's getting better. His pass moves are getting better. He's trying out new things. He's still causing pressure. He doesn't look like he's trying too hard. You see him chasing down quarterbacks after he makes spin move inside. He's still playing as hard as he can. He just isn't getting those sacks at the moment. And then 2 games from now, he'll get 4.
Right? He can do that. He can do that.
That's the game of football, man. It happens that way. The greats have been through 3 or 4 games where they got 1 sack, and then they came in and got 4 or 5. That's just how it happens. But the way that you handle it inside the locker room and the way that his DQ is talking to him, say, hey, man, don't worry about that. That's what he needs to listen to. I don't think it's a big deal that he said it. He seems like a guy who's going to say what's on his mind anyway.
He's
according
a
to, I know when he gets out there, he's still going to be the same Michael Parsons.
Yeah. But you guys have played with some elite pass rushers, being secondary players, but you've played with those guys that have had those high sack numbers. What was their, mentality, going through those big numbers like that? I mean, just staying consistent, or just from your experience with playing with guys like that?
Like the two biggest sack leaders that I've been around and had a chance or pleasure to play with was DeMarcus Ware here. It was prime DeMarcus. He was doing work. Mm-hmm. And then Calais Campbell down in Jacksonville. Yeah. And what both of those guys had in common, at least in my opinion, is they went 100. I'm talking about 150% once they got on them field. Like it don't matter. Once you get in between those two lines, they're going 150 miles an hour and 100% all the time. And to me, they didn't let any type of outside noise, bother them. Getting double teamed, you getting chip blocked. I mean, we saw it earlier in the season when Tampa Bay was chip blocking. What was his name? Parsons. They was chip blocking Parsons, and he was over there. Oh man! As soon as he got, I'm on Twitter. Oh, this is how they gonna do it. Yeah. Nah, they didn't worry about none of that. They were just like, hey, I'm gonna get double team. I'm gonna get triple team, but I'm gonna find a way to affect the game no matter what. And both of those guys were able to do that. And I believe Michael Parsons has that ability to do it as well. He just got to cancel out all that outside noise, focus on his job, his responsibility, what he's supposed to do out there, and he'll be just fine. But you got to block all that other stuff out. And you can't worry about what guys in the media like us say about you. Just go out there and help your teammates do what they got to do.
Yeah, D. Ware was a guy you never heard.
No complaints.
Especially not outside. He might come in the locker room and be like, hey, man, I like this is my time. I know I need to get some more. I need to do more, whatever. But no, it was never anything like that. You never heard it. He just went out there and played Mike Vick, got 4 sacks. It just happens.
Yeah. Like, to me, it's some of these things are starting to reek of immaturity.
You see it, yeah.
You see it. You said, oh, okay.
See
what?
You said some of them.
No, it is. It's just starting to reek of immaturity, and a guy that has a bright future, and you hope that there's someone in the locker room that he goes to that he can talk to, like you guys have had, and have talked about the leadership in the locker room. It's because he's a great football player, and to me, when I saw that quote, I'm like, Micah, you don't need to give nobody because can't nobody feel your shoes, dog. You already know that, Can't nobody play and do what you do. And so this defense going into this week, to me, we talked about momentum for the offense. Momentum for the defense is just as important. The takeaways, being able to take the ball back. I think a lot of times we worried from last season to this season, can we continue with the interceptions? That was a big ask, right? Yeah. And now you see a lot of the fumbles get taken, just a whole nother facet of this defense starting to take over. For you guys, going over the next 2 games to end the season, what is your big thing about this defense that you need to see, especially coming into this game with Tennessee, that that momentum that they can carry from the Philly game and all the other games that they've had to come out of this one with a victory as well?
Oh man, that cornerback position. We're gonna get the reps there, but I want that to be a little bit more solid than it has been. I want whoever's in there to have the confidence to be able to say, "Hey, man, if we play man to man, then DQ trusts him enough to say that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna play it, and we're gonna try to stop the run because that leads me into my next one. We got to figure out a way. We're not gonna get a ton better in being able to stop the run, but we have to at least hold the line of scrimmage a little bit better at some point before we get into the playoffs. We have to see a concerted effort of these guys and these coaches saying, hey, man, the thing we have to do is stop the run, okay? Because we have to earn the right to rush the passer. And if we can't do that, that's how you get teams coming in here running for 150, 192. And that will be another thing that happens to you in the playoffs like it did last year if you don't figure out a way to shore that up. What do? You play man-to-man and you put a lot more guys in the box. You're putting guys on the line of scrimmage. We need to figure out a way for teams to fear us just a little bit more when they say, hey, man, we're gonna run the ball on this team all day. That's what I need to see in the next 2 weeks from the Cowboys.
No, I agree with you 100%. First, you got to stop the run. And then second, you got to earn the right, all that good stuff. But to me, I need to see that swagger bump the defensive line come back. Once you're able to stop the run, I got to see these guys be able to pressure the quarterback. I mean, that was huge for this team and this defense, especially the first, 12, 13 weeks of the season. They were able to throw waves upon waves upon waves of pass rushers at the quarterback. From Parsons and D-Law, then you got Armstrong and Fowler and all the guys in between there. They were able to hit you with fresh bodies and able to get after your quarterback out there. For the past, I'm going to say 3 weeks, it hasn't been that way. I think they have 1 sack in these past 3 weeks, and that was against Trevor Lawrence early in the game.
First quarter.
In the first quarter. Ever since then, quarterbacks have had a clean pocket, and they've been able to pick this defense apart. I mean, if you go back to the Houston game, there should be no way in hell that Driscoll and Davis Mills were able to go back there and throw the ball like they were able to.
Right.
Then you go to Jacksonville. I understand they're extremely talented out there. They got a lot of weapons outside. But you shouldn't have had Trevor Lawrence out there looking like Peyton Manning. The guy was dicing the secondary apart. And with the injuries they have in the secondary, you got to rely on that D-line to get pressure on them. And then you fast forward to last week against Gardner Minshew, who hasn't played at all this season.
Right.
He goes for over 3 bills on you. Like it's you got to get that swagger back amongst that defensive line. I don't know if that's sending more people, making it more exotic, but they've got to be able to win their one-on-ones because that's what they were able to do earlier in the season and get pressure on these quarterbacks. And if you're not able to get pressure on the quarterbacks, when you get to the playoffs and you're going against a guy like, whoever, even Tom Brady, if you give him a clean pocket, he's still able to dice you up. So I got to see that swag amongst the D-line back in there.
How much do you guys consider or put into play? I mean, I think everybody's hurt at this point in the season. Everybody's dealing with injuries. But the Cowboys have been decimated by injuries. And Jonathan Hankins, he came in with a big question mark. People didn't really know who he was, but he came in and he handled his business, right? Jordan Lewis going out. That's a big miss in our defense. Anthony Brown, as much as people have been dragging him through the mud and talking about him, he has been sorely missed in this secondary. Does any of that come into consideration for you as you start talking about this Cowboys defense and where they are right now?
Only Anthony Brown.
Yeah.
Only Anthony Brown.
Yeah, because you had Deron Bland who came in, secondary-wise, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Anthony Brown, to me, is the biggest because you had Deron Bland who could come in and be serviceable.
Yeah.
I think the Kelvin Joseph experiment kind of puts you behind the 8 ball a little bit, so hopefully Nashawn Wright can be a little bit better. Yeah. Hopefully.
Can be worse.
Yeah, it can be worse than
Hey, man, I've seen some.
Okay. You're right. Yeah, okay.
We've seen some of that. But I think that is going to be a focal point for other teams who play against us, right? If you are able to figure out a way to stop the run, then you know the pressure is going to that left corner. They out there. They looking for a guy who they can say, I'm throwing at him every time. What type of scheme can I get to make sure that this guy ends up in one-on-one against whoever on my offense? And if we don't figure out a way to shore that up, you have a hard time, even if you do stop the run like we're asking for, because it's going to be check all day. He going, hey, yeah, right there, cut, fade, whatever secret sign they got, you'll see that for the entire game. Kind of like how you saw against Kelvin Joseph.
Yeah, I just don't believe Malik Willis has that in his wheelhouse. Anybody else?
No. I'm not talking about for him. I'm talking about
everybody else.
For us moving.
Yes.
Yeah, for us moving.
No, absolutely. But hey, we're going to take a break. But when we come back, we're going to talk about my favorite subject, 1, 2, 3, 4, coming up next on the Players Lounge.
Nobody protects you from mayhem like Allstate. You hear that? I'm a torrential downpour. Torrential? What's that even mean? It means you can't see out of your windshield. And if you have the wrong car insurance, you might have to make it rain to fix your bumper. So switch to Allstate, save money, and be better protected from mayhem, like me.
Based on coverage and limits selected, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. In most states, prices vary based on how you buy. Allstate Bar and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys.
And they snap it to Prescott, who looks right. It's not there. He escapes left. He'll run for a first down.
Just like football, when it comes to crypto, it's important to have a team you can trust. With blockchain.com, I know I'm in good hands. Since 2011, they've been trusted by millions around the world to buy, sell, and trade cryptocurrency.
Prescott's going to run this himself. Run it up the middle, and he scores.
Whether you're new to crypto or an active trader, they've got you covered. What are you waiting for? Get started at blockchain.com.
Want to use what the pros use? How about the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black? Right now, you can get the Jack Black Starter, a curated collection of Cowboys locker room favorites for just $10 with free shipping. The starter includes 4 Jack Black skincare favorites, plus a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Go to getjackblack.com/Cowboys and use the code word TEAMJB. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys. The Jack Black Starter, $10, free shipping.
With Smoothie King's original Angel Food and new Angel Food Slim without added sugar, you no longer have to choose between treating yourself and hitting your goals this summer. You don't have to choose between great taste and feeling great. Because at Smoothie King, every blend is made with whole fruits and no syrups, so you can satisfy your cravings without compromise. The only choice you will need to make is which one is best for you. Try our classic Angel Food or the new Angel Food Slim, blended without added sugar. Smoothie King, rule the day.
Back to the Players Lounge.
Enjoy premier dining, shopping, and experiences from over 20-plus restaurant shops and more at the Star District. Make sure to stop into the district's newest additions: Women's Boutique, Monkeys of Frisco, Shreve Fine Art Gallery, Lombardi Cucina Italiana, and the talk of the town, the Glen and the Monarch Stage. Visit thestardistrict.com for the full directory. Man.
Monarch Stag.
Monarch Stag. Yeah, Stag. My bad.
I ain't want to let you do it like
man,
this.
Appreciate it, because I'm sitting here like, okay, what? That's Stag. Okay, good. Appreciate it all. Appreciate it all. That's that Dallas Independent School District. Did that. But either way, back here on the Players Lounge, man, getting things wrapped up for you for the game tomorrow, man. So many things that we have tried to go over to get you, hey, feeling like, hey, you stocking like Rocky, buff like the Hulk, feeling like your team gonna do what they do.
There we go.
You know, because look, man, it's one of those games where you feel like you could go into it, you could blow this team out, you can have the weekend to yourself, bring in the new year, everybody feeling good, everything goes your way on Sunday. You could be potentially looking at, hey,
Here you go, the knife.
Hey,
the knife restaurant.
He give me my Cuban Ruben.
Talking into existence.
Things can start happening for us, Poppy. You know, but look, man, it's one of those things where you have everything to play for on this Thursday. I know the question is starting to circulate: do you rest guys? Do you this, that? Man, I think this is that weekend. This Thursday, you got to all hands on deck. You got to approach this like, look, we got everything to play for and everything to lose all at the same time. So that's where I am. But Dak Prescott again played his tail off on Saturday versus Philly and probably had one of his better games of the season. Going into this game, D-Mac, what do you want to see from Dak?
I need to see Dak protect the ball.
There it is.
I need the same thing Jerry wants, the same thing all the rest of Cowboy Nation wants. We need to see him protect the ball. Interceptions, fumbles, we need to stay away from all that. We know it happens, but when it continues to happen every week and consistently, that's when we need to say, hey, man, we need a game where it's none of that. All right? I want to see him protect the ball. He don't need to do anything special. He don't have to have 355, 3 touchdowns, all that stuff. I just need to see him protect the ball and be able to manage the game. Not be a game manager, just manage the game, keep it balanced, and make sure that everybody's in the right spot. Put the ball on his receivers, get his accuracy right, because once again, we need that momentum going into the playoffs, because we in the playoffs. But we need you to go into the playoffs with confidence, because as we talk about, confidence and momentum are very important. It's whatever team is hot. And how can you get hot as a team? Have your quarterback hot, ready to go.
There it is.
You have to.
There it is. You said it 100% right there. Take care of the football. And I know that's been a tough thing for Dak since he's gotten back. I think he leads the league in interceptions since he's been back. But we've seen he's a resilient player. He can respond to that situation, but we need him to take care of the football. That's all it comes down to, because what we understand is the only reason Houston was able to stick around in that game a couple weeks ago because we turned the football over. We don't turn the football over, we stomp on Houston. Same thing that comes here at Tennessee. I don't think they have the depth. They don't have the talent to be able to hang with this team. The only way they're able to stick around is if we turn the football over. So Dak, just keep, don't try to press for anything. If your number one option ain't there, number two option ain't there, don't be afraid to check the football down to Tony Pollard. We see what he can do in the open field. Check the football down, or just throw the football away and live to play another down, but take care of the football. You do that, this should be a no-issue game.
I forgot one, because, there's a fourth option in there. run that thing like he was doing against man.
Take off.
Do you realize what it does to a defense when you have to worry about the quarterback scrambling and getting first downs with his legs? It's a whole new part that the defensive coordinator is like, man, how do we stop this? Do we put a spy on him? Like, how we can't play 2-man because everybody's turning their back and then he could just take off running. That brings a whole nother facet to Dak Prescott's game. So I'd actually like to see him do that a little bit more. You don't have to be crazy, but yeah, man, pull it down a little bit, man. Go ahead and run for 10.
You see Mahomes doing something. Even Joe Burrow run a little bit.
Who? Oh, right. Okay.
No, he gonna catch you on that every time, man. But you know what? I'm with you. I'm with you on that, and I think he unveiled a part of his game that we've been clamoring for. We've been asking, come on, Dak, come on, man. We need to see you get out, use your legs more. But man, I think the challenge is to our offensive line as well, as much as it is to Dak. Our offensive line has got to do a much better job, and I know that Philly's defensive line is like that, all right? But Tyron Smith making the adjustment over to the right tackle position hasn't been smooth, and it's a lot of people that don't want to criticize big number 77 because he's first ballot Hall of Famer, all those things. He's had his struggles, and I think if you look at him, you can say, and even when a rookie, even Tyler Smith played clean all the way up into that last sack by Sweat. Look, they're going to have a matchup. And they're going to come into a game this week, tomorrow, where, look, Tennessee doesn't do a lot of things well, but rush the passer, get after you is what they do. And so I want to see this offensive line clean things up, but I'm with you, Danny. He can't turn the ball over.
That's it.
I mean, that's just become a part of his game that he's got to get rid of. And it's like, I guess – get it over early if you're going to do it. You know, if you're going to do it like you did it last week. Get it out the way. Let that your first pass, let that be it. But you've got to eliminate that because those turnovers in a playoff situation, man, ain't going to do nothing but bury your team. And so we can't have it, can't allow it. And for Dak, man, having his best game last week, he needs to come back this week and have an even better game. And I think the Tennessee Titans are going to give him plenty of opportunity to do it. So, fellas, we did it again.
Hold on. It is. Hey, I like that. But I'm telling you, he keep throwing these interceptions. He's going to be over there in tackling drills, all right? All right, so y'all just going to gloss over the tackle attempt on the big
He got hit with an L.
That was I don't know what that
was.
Go
low, my brother. Go low. Check your shoe size or something. You thought he was going to body slam, buddy? Defensive end, man.
I don't know what that was.
That man went over there like this.
We almost got out of here, man.
That boy thought it was two-hand touch, man.
We almost made it.
What he did? Oh, man.
Get him next time.
The boy scooting it.
What did he think that was going to stop?
As soon as he threw that pitch, he just, damn, now I got to go. That boy was scooting.
But, hey, but that's it. That's it for our show and how we always end it on game day eve. Cowboy Nation, I hope your team win.
Here we go.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys?